Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shamsina Fatiha and I will be presenting about endocrine system. So the question that was asked by my classmate, which is Muhammad Iqwan bin Amir, was how does COVID-19 affect endocrine system? I will be answering his question. So endocrine glands like testes, ovaries, adrenal glands, thyroid, pancreas, and others, they all have the cell surfaces that express the ACE2 receptors. So ACE2 receptors is angiotensin converting enzyme 2. So the SARS COVID-19 virus enters the cells through the receptors, ACE2 receptors, and then they infect those organs. So basically, there are 4 different mechanisms that can disrupt the endocrine glands. Firstly, we have direct viral injury, where the COVID-19 virus can directly infect the cells of the endocrine organ, like testes, ovaries, pancreas. So this can lead to the impairment of hormone production. Secondly, we have endothelial dysfunction. This is caused by when the COVID-19 virus they affect the blood vessel lining. So we know that hormones travel through the bloodstream, right? So if when the COVID-19 affect the blood vessel lining, it can also impact the hormone production. So which leads to my third point, which is immune system overreaction. So COVID-19 can attack the healthy tissues of the endocrine glands, which can cause inflammation and make the hormones lose balance, so there can be hormonal imbalance. And lastly, we have the disruption of regulatory system, where the COVID-19 virus can damage the complex hormonal feedback loops, which helps to regulate the hormones inside our body. So what we want to know now is how does the disruption mechanisms really affect our bodies through our endocrine glands, right? So firstly, we have the thyroid issues. This is shown by some studies where it said that when the COVID-19 infection can cause increased risk of thyroid problems, where the thyroid can be inflamed, and the disease is called thyroiditis. So the inflammation of thyroid can cause hormonal impairment. Okay, so when hormones is impaired, it can disrupt the homeostasis of our body. So secondly, about diabetes. So there's a study that I read where diabetes can be triggered in COVID-19 patients. The COVID-19 virus can somehow worsen the pre-existing diabetes or even trigger new cases. So there is still an ongoing study. And third, we have reproductive issues, where COVID-19 infection can impair the hormone production or the sex hormone production in the testes and the ovaries, and can also lead to infertility problems and menstrual cycle problems, irregularity of menstrual cycle. And lastly, we have stress hormone imbalances, where it can disrupt the stress hormones, which is cortisol, and can really affect our mood, can affect the blood sugar and the immune function. So to conclude my presentation, yes, COVID-19 viral infection can truly damage our endocrine system by targeting the endocrine glands such as testes, pancreas, ovaries, and adrenal glands. And these disruption mechanisms can also lead to a lot of problems, like I mentioned before, thyroid problems, reproductive problems, and then stress hormone imbalances, and then also a risk of diabetes. So thank you for listening to my presentation. and I hope I can answer the question.